Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to Good Market, everyone. Emmanuel Ugoke. I like that. Thank you very much, everyone. Please, can we help me to quickly confirm that the audio is solid, loud, and clear, so that we can proceed from here. Go to Ernest, you're new here. You're welcome. To Marie John, thank you very much. All right, thank you, Elijah, and all the other people that confirmed. All right, so good morning once again. I welcome you all to today's edition of the morning market review. Thank you, Adeshola Wasiru. I welcome you all to today's session of the morning market review. Uh, as usual, from this session, we of course look at what's going on in the market and then also try to have assets that we can add to our watch list for today and also for the rest of the week. Okay. Um, yeah, so without further ado, um, let's get started right to it. Like I said, it's our usual morning market review. If you're just coming for the first time, you're welcome. Be sure that it's going to be a very fantastic session as always. And here we look at what's going on in the financial markets. Like I said, with the expectation that we have instruments that we can add to our watch list and also be able to pick a few entries and trade ideas as well from these sessions. Every day, Monday to Friday, we bring here different analysts to tell us what's going on in the market. So let's get right to it. And to get started, I'm going to switch to forexfactory.com. So we can check out if we do have any high impact news that can impact price for today. So I'm going to do that right away. Just a second. I need to switch to forexfactory.com. Right. We have the economic calendar up right now. Um, you can see Forex Factory. Please, I would like us to type FX or Forex Factory in the comment section so I know we are on the same page and then we can proceed. In the comment section, just help me type FX or Forex Factory. All right, thank you very much. So we can see forexfactory.com. All right, so again, if you're just joining for the first time, this is a good place to start from. So forexfactory.com, we check out the important data news releases for today so that can also guide our trading decisions. All right, thank you all for the confirmation. Okay, so usually what I do here is to first filter off the ones that I'm not interested in. Of course, the red envelopes represent the high impact news. This brown is for medium impact. As even highlighted, if you put your cursor on it, you see it right there. High impact expected, medium impact expected, low impact expected, and then non-economic. So I don't need non-economic, I don't need low impact. So I'll stay with medium and high impact. So I uncheck these ones because I don't need them. And then I need to drag this. Okay, and then I can say apply filter. So on my calendar, I only have red and brown envelopes. Okay, so today, Tuesday, the 9th day of July, what do we have? Okay, for today, 3 p.m., all eyes will be on this high impact news coming from the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, by 3 p.m. Of course, it's one that we want to really look at. And then from the labor report that we had from last week, Friday, unemployment, non-farm payroll, unemployment. Of course, the unemployment rate climbed to about, okay, I don't want to go back to that, but it was at 4.1%. And that's like the highest since late 2021 or thereabout. And we could see how that impacted the dollar for that particular news. It became really weak, and then we saw some really fantastic bullish run for pairs like Euro USD, Pound USD, and bearish on USD CAD, USD JPY, and the rest of them. So for today, 3 p.m., like I said, that's Jerome Powell is due to testify, usually about semi-annual monetary policy report, and is going to be doing that before the Senate Banking Committee. Now, while this particular session may not necessarily have a lasting impact on the market, they can this particular session can cause some volatility, especially when it begins to talk. So as head of the central bank, of course, that's Jerome Powell now, controls interest rates. He has more influence over the nation's currency value than any other person. So during this engagement, particular engagement, testifying before the Senate committee, traders would try to listen in, scrutinize what he's saying, so that they can help us drop subtle clues regarding what's going to be happening with interest rates and the direction in which the monetary policy would be, to know whether the USD is going to become stronger moving forward or weaker. So for this particular news at 3 p.m., it will be testifying on the economic outlook and recent monetary policy actions before the Senate Banking Committee. The way it's done is going to be reading a prepared statement, although the text version of that statement will be made available on the Federal Reserve website when it starts by 3 p.m. And after that is concluded, the committee, the Senate Banking Committee, will then hold a question and answer session. And that is when we expect the volatility to happen, because in a way, the statement will be reading is scripted. But during the question and answer session, it is unscripted, and that may lead to heavy market volatility, because it's not it doesn't know the kind of questions they're going to throw at him. You know, when a press conference is going on, they ask you, all the press guys present will ask you all sort of questions, and that may lead to, depending on his response, that may lead to increased volatility in the market. All right, so that's basically what we have in terms of economic news for today. So 3 p.m., we can expect volatility for the US dollar. All right, so I'm going to head over to MT4 right now to see the technicals. to see what that means in terms of technicals. So I'm going to stop sharing Forex Factory and then switch to MetaTrader 4. Just a minute while I do that. Okay, so I have MT4 right there. I have MT4. So again, I need us to confirm. Just help me put MT4, MT4. So I know we're on the same page and we can see my screen. All right, Adetunji Olaliko. Thank you very much. And all the other people that confirmed. I saw MT3, Tomori John. Of course, that's a mistake. All right. Yeah, you corrected it. Thank you. Okay, so this is USD index. This is USD index. Again, like to start from here so that we can determine the overall direction of the dollar, and then I'll be able to apply this to all the other major pairs, So for quite some time now, we have been following a bullish structure right here on the USD index. And in a way, that bullish structure is still quite intact, I must say, still quite intact. Now, the reason I say that is this. Usually, when we have an uptrend, of course, we expect to see a series of higher highs and higher lows. That looks like this. Higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. Okay. And if you check out the structure that we have here, now this is happening on the daily time frame, which gives an overall view of the direction. So we can start on the daily time frame to check the overall direction and then tune down to a much lower time frame for entry opportunities. Okay, so now based on this, higher highs and higher lows, I'm going to relate this to the index right now. So from this low, we see a high, we see a higher low, we see a higher high, we see a higher low, and then from here, we expect to see a higher high. But as it is now, because of all the data from last week, Friday, especially last week, Friday, all the data from last week, especially last week, Friday, we got this bearish move in the dollar index. However, it has now found support at this 104.5 level. Now, if we lose this 104.5 level, then I'll begin to consider a bearish scenario for the dollar index, especially if we now lose this 104 level. So while price of this asset, the USD index, is still above 104.5. Of course, we had that bearish move from last week, like all the trading days of last week, bearish from that support at 105.5. And right about now, price has found support at 104.5. Now, two things. Price may continue to push higher and push higher from here. Of course, when we had this break below the trend line, price broke or closed back above the trend line, and then we got that aggressive rally. Now, right about now, price is also below that trend line, and it Fortunately, it has now found support at 104.5. So from this point now, I expect dollar to push higher, to continue to push higher, especially from this support. But, and a very big but, if we lose this 104.5 level, that is, if price closes below this level at 104.5, then I may now start looking out for a bearish scenario for the dollar index, which may also impact instruments like the Euro USD, the Pound USD, the USD CAD, and the rest of the major pairs. But while price is above 104.5 levels support, and to further solidify that point, that pivot point as support, we can see several attempts at that level. We have it here. Previously, the same level acted as support right there. Previously right there. Previously right here as resistance here, and on like that. We can begin to go back and back to scroll back to see more points where it has tested that particular price level as support. Okay. And that is why I'm still kind of keeping my bullish bias for the dollar index. Yeah. Okere Onyechi was asking which instrument. And Henry, thank you for the response. This is the dollar index. Again, if you understand the direction or the movement of the dollar index easily, you can relate it to the major pairs. Those are pairs with USD as one of the currencies, whether as the base currency or as the quote currency. Okay, so that's it for the dollar index. Again, like I said, and in summary, price, of course, fell from last week, almost throughout the trading days of last week, price fell, but it has now found support at 104.5. So from this level now, we may begin to see US dollar index push higher. And if this is happening, then pairs like Euro USD, Pound USD may just begin to fall from this point. Okay, now heading over to Euro USD. So on my screen now, I have Euro USD and again on the daily time frame so that we can get the overall direction, and then we can switch back to a much lower time frame to look for entry opportunities. So for the euro, again, the euro fell yesterday. That was Monday. And in a way, it's pulling back from like a 3-week high against the dollar, and it is also on track as it is now for the first loss in about 6 or 7 or even 8 trading days right now, because it has been bullish since it tested the support around 1.065, also highlighted with this trend line. Now, of course, this may, number one, be due to people exiting their positions, those who have been bullish on the euro dollar. It is now approaching a resistance level, so they are exiting their positions. So this pullback that we're seeing may be as a result of that, as well as what happened with the surprise of the final round of the French elections. So we also see that sentiment at play here, also contributing to the fall. Now, because we have said that we expect the dollar to be bullish above that 104.5 level, what it means is that if that happens, then the euro dollar too would be bearish from this point. Now, watch this. This trend line dates back as far as 2021. This trend line has been valid as far back as 2021. Price tested it as resistance right there. Here again as resistance, although we got a breakout, but that breakout was not sustained. So it is more of a fake out. And usually when I've said this multiple times on this forum, when we do get a breakout that failed like this, usually it triggers an extensive move in the opposite direction. So we got that aggressive sell-off, and then price returned to that trend line right here again. And then what happened? Price fell. We got another breakout right here, and again, price fell. So currently, price is now back at that same trend line. Price is now back at the same trend line. Although currently it is price this for this candle here closed above that trend line. Now from this point, price, if this breakout were to be sustained, then we may continue to see Euro USD push higher from here. Now, however, there is this resistance level at 1.08. So what I've been looking out for here is to get a more convincing break above that trend line. For this bullish candle now, it closed above the trend line, but we are seeing this more of a rejection candle signified by this long upper wick. So two things. Number one, if we do get a close back below the trend line, then the whole of this part, the whole of the price here would also be a fake out, And then like it has happened multiple times, what that would mean is that we also get an aggressive sell-off. Now, two things. Again, I'm going to repeat so that we understand exactly what I'm saying. Price with this, okay, let me take out this rectangle. This candle here, that green candle, this green candle right here, broke above the trend line and closed above it. And then, of course, ideally, if we get a breakout like this, we expect to see it sustained. We expect to see a follow through on that breakout. However, with this candle now, of course, we got this gap below the trend line and then price back above the trend line, but now give us this rejection candle signified by this long upper wick. So two things. If price pushes higher from this point, especially if it now closes above this resistance at 1.087, then we can expect this asset Euro USD to continue to push higher. However, and this will be the second scenario now, if we do get a close back below the trend line, if we do get it close back below that trend line, and especially because the dollar index is above or just trading above a support level. And for that reason, if Euro USD pushes back below this trend line, then the whole of the price here, the whole of the price action here, like I highlighted earlier, would mean that it is a fake out. That is just similar to what we got here. Price broke above the trend line and then it was not sustained, closed back below it. And then we got that aggressive sell-off. The same thing right there. The same thing right here. Price with this green candle closed above the trend line. And then again, it was not sustained. We got it closed back below the trend scenario plays out with this current price action that we see here, then we're also going to get an aggressive sell-off as well. We're also going to get an aggressive sell-off as well. So that's how I'm going to be approaching Euro USD. That's exactly how I'm going to be trading it. And that's for Euro USD. Okay. Emmanuel Christian. Okay, yeah, pounds USD. I was just going to switch to pounds USD. So you are right on point. Okay. So what do we have right there for pounds USD? Of course, very similar to Euro USD. They kind of move, they have similar pattern. Okay, and also on the pounds dollar, trying to get a good view to capture the trend line. Okay, again, we see this trend line right here, also dating back to as far back as 2021, right there for the pounds USD. Okay, and for the same trend line, we can see multiple touches, multiple attempts to close above it, but price has always been rejected. You see it right there, which is more also uh, a fake out right there. Price closed above it, but wasn't sustained. We got an aggressive rally. Fast forward to this period, the same thing happened as resistance, price sold off. The same thing right there, the same thing right here, the same thing right here, a few pips to the trend line, and then we got that sell off. And then fast forward to 2023, the same thing happened right there, the same trend line from 2021. Here also as resistance. And then fast forward to 2024, sometime in March 2024, we also got a retest of that same trend line, and then we got that aggressive sell-off. Now, currently, price is now back at a very important pivot point, which is a resistance level at 1.28. Now, currently, price is trading above that resistance. Price is above that resistance. Currently, is trading at, let me see, 1.28062. Price is currently at 1.28062. Now, the resistance is somewhere around 1.28, highlighted with this horizontal line right there. Again, if we check what happened previously at that same 1.28, I can show you several attempts of price to close above it, but it has failed several times. You see it right here as resistance, right here at the resistance, the same thing during this period. Here we got a break above that resistance, but again, it was not sustained. And that gave us a fake out right there. And usually after a fake out, what we get is an aggressive sell-off. And that's what we had right there. Okay. So even at this point, again, as resistance, and price was unable to close above it. And then again, we got the sell-off. Now, currently, price is now above it. Now, we have also seen this rejection candle right there. But first, the same approach for euro dollar that we highlighted earlier, in the same way I'm going to trade this. Now, number one, I need to see a follow through on this break above the resistance. I need to see a follow through. I need price to now start giving me higher highs and higher lows from that resistance, because price is now above it. So I need to see a follow through. I need to start seeing series of higher highs and higher lows from this point. However, if we don't get that, that is, if price is not sustained above that 1.28 level, if we get a close back below 1.28, then what that would mean is we also have a fake out right there, And then, like we have seen multiple times, what we will get will now be an aggressive sell-off. So that's what I'll be looking at for, for the pounds USD. Now, again, all of this is happening on the daily time frame. I start from here to get the overall direction, and then I can go as low as 30 minutes or 1 hour to look for entries. And then even for Euro USD, we go to either H4 or H1. You see it? You see that it is quite messy. Nothing much to do right here until we get a clear direction. And that could be number one, a follow through on that break above resistance, or if we do get a close back below that resistance, then will get bearish from there. The same thing for the pounds USD. This is daily time frame. Again, I'm going to switch to 4 hours, also switch to 1 hour. And then you see what we have right here. You see what we have right here. So for me to get bearish here, like I also said, I need to see a close back below 1.28. Then that would confirm the bearish bias. If we do get a retest of that resistance level, that would be fantastic. And then we can expect price to fall further from that level. And that's it for the pound USD. Arubi Emmanuel. I see gold next. Isedo, Alebode Isedo. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. USD JPY. I see gold. Oluwaseun Senkad, with observation on US dollar index, can one say USD bullish that dollar is gaining? Yes, especially above that 104.5 that we highlighted. Now, of course, price fell almost throughout the trading days of last week, but it has now found support at 104.5. At 104.5. So we can expect price to be bullish from this point, at least bullish towards this resistance at 105.1. The price will be bullish towards that point. And then if we get it close above that 104.1, then it will further confirm this bullish move that we see on the dollar index. However, if we lose 104.5, that is, we get a close back below 104.5, then that would switch the whole thing to being bearish. Okay. So which one do we look at next? You're not seeing the price. I see a lot of gold, gold, gold. Okay, hopefully we get a gold. Okay, now again, USD CAD. Now USD CAD has been very choppy. What do I mean by that? Has been ranging between okay. I had to move that so that you can see the price. Ranging between this resistance and support. Resistance at around 1.378 and then support around 1.36. And then we can see a lot of back and forth right there. This here closed above that resistance at that same 1.378. Now we are analyzing USD CAD now, again on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame to get the overall direction. And then, as usual, we can switch to a much lower one for entry. Okay, so like I said, we see a lot of back and forth right there. At this point, back in sometime in April, price closed above that resistance at 1.378. And then this is a typical example of a fake out. After this breakout, price is supposed to should have continued to push higher from that point. But what happened? The following trading day, we got that bearish engulfing candle. So what it means is that the whole of this part was a fake out. And then what happened after that? We got that aggressive sell-off right there. Now, at this point, price returns to that same resistance level, back to support, back to resistance, and then back to support. So because it is now back to support level, what it means is that from this point, moving forward, we expect that we continue to push higher from there so that price can come back to that resistance because it has now recently retested this support again at 1.36, at price level 1.36. So from this point now, we may now continue to get higher highs and higher lows towards that resistance. We may continue to see this structure moving forward. And that would mean that we get bullish on USD CAD. And what would invalidate this for me, what would cancel this bullish bias for me is if we get it close below that support level at 1.36. If price closes below that support level, then yeah, that would be a close below the low of this ranging market, which may now signal a bearish scenario. That's for USD CAD. For those of us trading that, you have a direction right there. USD CHF, again, very much similar. From this support level now. Okay, before that, let me do this. We saw these lower highs and lower lows, which is a downtrend, typical of a downtrend, giving us series of lower highs and lower lows. Right. And then after this last low right there at support, we now got that close above the previous lower high. So price has now closed above this previous lower high. So two things again here for USD CHF. I need to take out these trend lines first. Okay. So for USD CHF, number one, I need to see a close back above that resistance. I need to get a close back above that resistance. Somewhere around 0.899 price level. I have this horizontal line here showing us the price level for that. Why is that particular pivot point important? If you go back in time, you would see how much it has acted as support in the past. You see one attempt here, another one right there, another one right there as resistance right there, and then price is now above it. Now let me try to do this. Let me switch to 4 hours first. Okay, let me see if FIBO will give us all right, now this is the Fibonacci retracement tool. This tool is a fantastic tool that helps us measure retracement levels. Now we have this is 4 hours time frame now. We have this trend from point A right here. Let me use this so you see it. No, I need to use text instead. Okay. All right. So we have this trend from point A to point B right there. Okay, so we see this A to B, which is a trend. From that A to B, we see a series of higher lows and higher highs up to this resistance. And then after price hits the resistance, we got this retracement. Now, this retracement is now sitting on the 50% FIBO level, which is a fantastic support point. And then we see that price is now beginning to push higher from that 50.0 support level. Now, because it is also close to resistance at this point, also close to this 23.6 level, sorry, hold on. Also close to this 23.6 FIBO level, and you don't want to be buying into a resistance. You don't want to be buying into a resistance. So two things right here. Number one, we get it close above that resistance, and then that would further confirm this bullish move that we have, to further solidify this bullish move that we have. Or we get some retracement because of that resistance. We get a little bit of retracement right there, and then it gets bullish from there. It gets bullish from there. So two things right there. Because the price is now close to a resistance area and you don't want to be buying at resistance. Number one, we need to see price close above the resistance, or we get a retracement to give us a good entry opportunity for a buy position. And again, because the US dollar index, where we started from, is also trading at I see Akim, it's ranging again in 1 hour for USD card. Okay, yes, that's what we said for USD card. It's been quite choppy, trading between this resistance and support. It's been trading within that range. So because it has now recently retested the support, that's why we expect it to get bullish from there. That's why we expect it to get bullish from there. And this is 1 hour again. We also see this ranging. It has also created a high and a low within that support and resistance for USD CAD. You see it, which is further confirming the choppy movement that we see even on the daily time frame. Okay. Yes, for 1 hour also. Yes, you are right. Akim Odejide for 1 hour as well. We see that short-term ranging right there. This is it on 1 hour. This is it on 1 hour. So we see that it is bullish, which is the bias that we have, and then we expect it to be bullish towards that resistance. Be bullish towards this resistance at 1.36448. And then if we get it close above that resistance, then the bullish move should continue. It closes below, it closes above that resistance, somewhere around price 1.36448. If we get a retest, fantastic. If we don't, then it continue to push higher from there. So that's it for coming from Akim or sorry, I want to get your name right. Odejide, right? Odejide. Yes, the news, even today, even from today, Awojobi Felix. Don't forget, we have 3 p.m. News from USD today, which is going to be very volatile towards that time. The Federal Reserve Chairman would be testifying before the Senate Banking Committee. So during that speech, during his testimony, and because of the question and answer session that's going to follow thereafter, we expect to see some bullish move for the dollar, which may also now give a much more valid direction to the major pairs. All right, so we already talked about USD CHF, NZD USD2 is also one that we should watch or add to our watch list. And reason is because I remember from last week, I was saying that if price closes below this trend line, spotted right there, then we can expect price to be bearish. And that's exactly what we got. We got that bearish candle below the trend line, and then a push towards the support at 0.6050. We got that. And then from that point, it became bullish from that support level, and then price closed back above the trend line. But right now, because of the strength we are seeing in the dollar, it's beginning to push back lower. Now, what will confirm, what will further solidify this bearish move is, number one, we get it close back below the trend line and especially below this price level at 0.611. To get that, then I will go bearish right there. Kenneth in lobby. Okay, it's your first time. Yes. This morning analysis is for trading guide, is to help you check one or two instruments that you can add to your watch list. And especially if you are considering any of these assets, then you have a much clearer perspective on those assets that we have talked about so far and that we'll still talk about. Okay. Eurocard. Okay, Eurocard right here too. I would also want us to add this to our watch list. This is also going to present a fantastic trading opportunity as well. I remember I was talking to us about this fake out right there, and then eventually price closed back below the resistance level at price 1.4765. Price closed below that resistance. Sorry, it was resistance initially, now turned support because price closed above it. So because price is now below it, the whole of price here is a typical example of a fake out. And then what happened? We got that aggressive sell-off. We got that aggressive sell-off. It pushed to push lower. Now, let me also try to use Fibo here to check that retracement. Fantastic. So you see it too. Again, just like I highlighted earlier using Fibo, we also have the bearish version right here. So this is point A now. This is point A. And then this right here, point B. You see point B. So price created this trend from A to B. And then we're using Fibo, the Fibonacci retracement tool, to measure the retracement. And then price retreats to the 50% Fibo level, which is a fantastic resistance right there. So what it means is that we'll be looking for sell opportunities on the Euro card. We'll be looking for sell opportunities. Now, this is H4. This is H4. You see it? On H4, that's what we have right there. It's now below 50 level. Even on the 1 hour time frame, you see it, we now have price pushing lower. Sell opportunity on the Euro card. Okay, moving on. I've talked about oil too for quite some time. And then after hitting this resistance level, it's now beginning to push lower. It's now beginning to push lower. Let's see. So from this resistance, we got a push lower, we got a retracement, we got a push lower, we got consolidation, and then we got an aggressive sell-off from there. Now at this support level, gave us a fantastic reversal pattern and price started pushing to the upside. Back at resistance, we're now beginning to see bearish move from there, which is very fantastic. Okay, you see this is happening on 4 hours time frame now. Price has now closed below the most recent higher low, So we may be continuing to see price push lower from that point. USD JPY. Okay, where are you? USD JPY. Okay, now because this is also a major pair, it has USD as the base currency. Now, this trend line here Let's see if we can extend it and see. Okay, not much beyond this point. Okay, so this trend line also very much valid as far back as I think it was 2023. Let's see, trying to drag this so I can see the date. Okay, so as far back as 2023, we got this series of higher lows and highs for USD JPY. See, higher lows and highs. All right. Okay, so as it is now, let's see. I think it has now returned to this high that it created right there. Okay, it has now returned to that high. Let me also check with moving average. All right, so from this point now, because it's already very high, it created this high at around 162. It's around 162. Yeah, already very high. So right now, price is trading within those 162 level and 160, trading within those levels. Now, this is daily time frame. Let's switch to 4 hours. Okay, on 4 hours, this is what we have on 4 hours. Recently, price returned to the 160 support level, and right now is beginning to push higher. And the moving average 50, this moving average 50 is now acting as support for price. So from this point now, this may continue to push higher. I'm trying to pick this trend line. Okay, this may continue to push higher from that point. We continue to push higher, giving us series of higher highs and higher lows on that point. So if you are trading USD JPY, until we get a close back below the 160 level, that's when this will turn bearish for me. Okay. Euro pound. Oluwaseun Senkad. Olufowokanbamishe Euro pounds. Okay, I'm going to get there in a minute. We still have about 3-4 minutes. WhatsApp number. Oluwaseun Senkad. Your trend line not determined as mine on your end for once I pick it, it tends to be continuous. Okay, it's very simple. This is what you need to do. When you pick the trend line, double click on the trend line and then right click on it and then go to trend line properties. When you get to trend line properties, go to the parameters tab. So when you click trend line properties, you're going to see common parameters and visualization. So you switch to parameters and then this ray, you need to uncheck it. If it's active, if I check this ray button right there, you'll see that I'm going to get exactly what you're talking about. Oluwaseun Senkad, I'm going to get exactly what you're talking about. So what you need to do, double click on the trend line first of all, so that you can select it, right click it, and then go to trend line properties. When you get to trend line properties, you have this window, you see common, you see parameters, visualization. What you need is parameters, and then uncheck ray, and then click OK. Then you're going to have your trend line behaving exactly like mine. All right, I'm glad you got that. So Euro pounds very quickly. Euro pounds. Now, Euro pounds, I've talked about it multiple times on this forum. Give us double bottom right there, and then price pushed higher. Another double bottom, price pushed higher. So price returns to that same point at around 0.85 level. And eventually price broke below that point. Price broke below that point. Traded towards another support at 0.84 right here. Now, from this point now, price is now beginning to push higher. Price is now beginning to push higher from that point. Now, if this breakout, if this break below this important support level were to be sustained, meaning that we continue to get lower highs and lower lows below that support at 0.85, lower highs and lower lows. This is what we're supposed to be seeing, lower highs and lower lows. However, because we're not getting that currently, what it means is that, and especially if we get a close back above this resistance. Now, this price level at 0.85 used to be support, significant support level for euro pounds. Now that price is below it, of course, that same point is now resistance. So what it means is that eventually if we get it close back above that point, then the whole of the price level here will be a fake out. That is a breakout that failed. And it's one of the fantastic ways of trading. If we get a fake out like this, it means that what we'll see will be an aggressive push to the upside. So I'm watching out for how this plays out. I'm really keeping my eye on euro pounds to see how this plays out. But in the short term, of course, because of this support, we can expect price to continue to push higher, at least back to this resistance. And then we also have this trend line right here. We also have this trend line. Yeah, we also have this trend line. So number one, I first need to see price close back above this trend line and then push towards this resistance at 0.85. Kenneth Ilobi, yeah, I understand it's your first time. You may need to join one of our beginners class, but for currency pairs, when you take buy or sell, that action is activated on the base currency. That is the first currency, the currency that comes first, like you have said there, the currency that comes first. All right. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get to gold today, but I remember we have mentioned that we see head and shoulder pattern on gold. We see head and shoulder pattern, and that is still valid. Now, head and shoulder pattern, of course, it's a reversal pattern as well. This is the head right there. That's the left shoulder right there. And then this is still valid as the right shoulder. See, it's still valid as the right shoulder. And this is a bearish reversal pattern. This is a bearish reversal pattern. And guess this candle also give us this also closed bearish, So the bias here is that price continue to push lower. Price continue to push lower, and especially because the USD index is also at a support level. So I'll look for opportunities to go short on pounds. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a fantastic time. So I'm going to drop my WhatsApp number right there. That's it. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining this session today. It's been a fantastic time. I hope we get one or two instruments that we can add to our watch list for today and for the rest of the week. Don't forget, 3 p.m. we have high impact news for the dollar index. Tomorrow, same time from 8 a.m. We're also going to have the morning market review. Also make sure to join. All right. Thank you very much for joining. This is a good place to live in. Happy trading.